Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Morn, welcome to the SECTA Sustainable Energy and Technology Application 2025. I'm Muhammad Syari Mubarak. I'm from the Electrical Engineering Faculty of Advanced Technology and Multidiscipline University Erlangga. And this opportunity, I'm going to present one of the topic uh, in the sector, which is the maintaining solar shelters to ensure renewable energy quality in Gili Island. Okay, first of all, let me introduce you about the Giliang Island. Some of you maybe already knew about the Giliang, and some of you maybe not. The Giliang Island is one of the outermost islands located in Tugge, Sumeneb, Madura, East Java, and so this is the eastern part of the Madura Island, and the area of this island is around 9.50 square kilometer, and it is inhabited by the 7,382 residents. The Giliang Island has a great ecotourism potential because in the Giliang, um, it is known as the highest oxygen levels in Indonesia and maybe number 2 in the world. Um, so, to increase the potential of the visiting tourists, it must be accompanied by the adequate infrastructure in that island. One of the important infrastructure is the electrical energy. So the continuity of the electrical energy support is very important for the tourism. Recently, in that area, uh, it is supplied by the two diesel power plant for a primary research, and this is for the two villages, namely Bancamara and Banwaas. The electricity is distributed alternately during the day for the two villages, so it will affect the flexibility of the community activities. Um, of course, for the tourism destination, it's become a concern because the electrical energy is something that must be maintained continuously. If we look in that area, um, the new renewable energy is the potential because the Giliang Island has very rich of the sun, and so the solar energy is the very potential in that area. The use of the renewable energy to support the tourism has become a positive trend. So many tourist destinations around the world are seeking to integrate renewable energy resource. So one of them is using the solar panel to produce electricity for lighting or for the charging station, and this is to support the tourism destination. Faculty of Advanced Technology and Multidiscipline, Universitas Erlangga, is active in the research and innovation and also the community development, and which is we are also focusing on the developing science and technology that is beneficial to the society, so that um, we were implemented the solar shelter in the Giliang Island. It was March 2023, and the solar shelter is implemented for a charging station at one of the tourism place called Batu Cangga. This implementation is aiming to provide electricity while the tourists explore the destination. So the tourists can charge the device in the solar shelter without fear of running out of the electrical energy. And the process of the installing of the solar shelter was carried out by the FTMM lecturers, involved the students, and also together with the local residents. And this is the overview of the solar shelter in Giliang. The solar shelter that we installed or we implemented is the standalone base system or the shelter based system. So this is the off-grid PV photovoltaic system, not on-grid. And also, as I mentioned before, that the application is to support the ecotourism in Batu Cangkah. And of course, our purpose for the environmental impact is to get the zero emission in the Giliang Island, and also we want to get the energy independence in that area. The solar shelter itself is the photovoltaic system that consists of the solar panels, the battery, the inverter, and also the controllers. And the solar shelter has the specification of the 50-watt peak mono solar panel, and it has the lead acid battery 12 volt 50 ampere hour, and it also has the solar charge controller to charge the battery from the solar panel, and we have the inverter to convert from the DC source from the battery to get the AC source. Um, it also equipped with the lamp 10-watt LED and 3 units AC to 120 volt socket and 2 units DC 5 volt socket, and the dimension is 230 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 15 centimeters. Maintaining the solar shelter is an important thing to ensure it functions properly, so that as we did before in October 2023 and also 2024, the team returned to the location to carry out the regular check of the solar shelter, and this aims to ensure that the tools function properly and there are no problems. Um, because we face several challenges in Giliang for the solar shelter. The first one is the climate conditions, because in that area high has the high humidity and also salt corrosion, because it's near a sea, right? And the number two is the dust accumulation in the surface of the PV panel, because it can reduce the panel efficiency, it can reduce the voltage output of the PV. So we have to clean the surface of the solar panel. And the number three is the technical skill gap, limited local technicians. So yeah, for the local person, usually they don't have any skill to, to maintain the solar shelter. And the number four is the funding limitation to get the spare part or advanced tool. So that's why we need to do the maintenance regularly. Solar shelter basically utilize renewable energy resource from the solar panel, and this system also requires an energy storage. As you can see, we need a battery to store the energy from the PV, and also we need the inverter to convert the DC voltage to the AC voltage, and the energy conversion process is the main principle in making solar shelter. And yeah, this is the process, the whole process of the solar shelter. The main technology is the energy conversion. To store the energy from the solar panel to the battery, we need a solar charge controller. And this SCC is used to charge the battery with energy source from the PV, and the SCC maintains the charging voltage and the charging current of the battery so that it does not overcharge, which if this overcharge is happen, then it can cause damage for the battery. And this solar charge controller can control the the level of the battery, so the controller will cut or reduce the charging current to protect the battery from the damage. And usually the solar charge controller um, basically is the buck converter, because convert from the higher voltage from the PV to the lower voltage for the battery. And the technology behind this is also use the maximum power point tracking, and it used to optimize the power from the PV. And uh, yeah, the MPPT and the buck converter, it's combined in the solar charge controller so that we can optimize the power from the PV and then store it to the battery. Basically, for the battery charging method, there are three aspects that we can pay attention. The first one is the charging current. Yeah, the charging current is adjusted to the battery capacity. Usually it is between 10% to 30%, and usually we use the 20% in the solar charge controller. And the second one is the charging voltage. So for the 12 volt battery, usually it has the 6 cells. So for every cell, it needs to charge for 2.3 volt to 2.3 volt to 2.4 volt per cell. And so the total of the 12 volt battery, we need the voltage 13.8 to 14.4 volt. So the output of the SCC usually is around 13 or 14 volt to charge the battery. And if we want to calculate the charging time, so we can use this equation. The charging time is the how much the capacity of the battery divided by the how much current uh, charged to the battery. So we can estimate how long the battery can be charged. And this is the AC inverter system. The AC inverter system is to convert the DC voltage to the AC voltage provided for the AC 220 volt socket. The basic principle of the AC inverter system, usually we need the boost converter to boost the voltage from the battery 12 volt to 220 as the input of the inverter. And usually we have the single phase inverter because we only need the single phase output. So the main goal is to generate the AC output waveform that mimics a sinusoidal waveform with a little harmonic current. And the output is supposed to be 220 volt AC, 50 Hertz. Yeah. And how about the DC low voltage system socket? And the solar shelter, if you want to get the DC low voltage system, which is the 5 volt, so from the battery, which is 12 volt, we need the buck converter. The buck converter principle is to step down the voltage from input to the output. So the input is the higher than the output. So that in the low voltage system, the buck converter is used to convert 12 volt DC from the battery to 5 volt DC to the low voltage socket. And then how can we do maintenance for the solar shelter? I think the first one is we have to identify what is the component that we need to maintain. For example, here I give an example. Um, the component that we can maintain, the first one is the solar panel. What action for the solar panel? The first one, we need to clean the dust, or we need to clean the bird droppings, or we need to check the connection. Is the output voltage of the solar panel is normal or not? And the frequency of the maintenance for the solar panels, we can do it monthly, yeah, because if the dust is accumulated, then the output of the solar panel is not maximum. And the second one is the battery. We can check the voltage of the battery, which is the state of charge of the battery, what is the level of the voltage, and the percentage of the SOC. And if we need, we can check the state of health. Is the battery already broken or not? We can check by the state of health checker, and we can do it monthly. We also can check the inverter, inspect the wiring, the indicators, and the output is already 220 volt or not. We can check the structure of the solar shelter, check the rust, the physical damage. We can do it for every 6 months and something like this. So that later in our discussion, we need to create uh, some logbook for the maintenance, something like this, and we can discuss it later in the class. Okay, the tools and equipment that we can use for the maintenance is, for example, we can use the multimeter. Multimeter can be used for the voltage checker, for the current checker, and etc. We also can use the tester, for example, like insulation tester. We can use the brush to clean the solar panel. We can use water to clean the solar panel. We can use the thermal imaging if available. If we want to catch the component like inverter or the solar charge controller, uh, we can use the safety gear. We can use the gloves for the safety, etc. We can discuss it later. Uh, what kind of tools that we need to use for the maintaining solar shelter in India. So, what is the advantage for doing maintenance of the solar shelter? If we can do it properly, then we can have the stable energy output, and we can have the long life of our system, which is extended system lifespan, and we can reduce the downtime or the repair cost of our component, and we also can boost the community confidence in renewable energy because, for example, we can train the local resident to get to know uh, how to do maintenance in the solar shelter. Yeah, something like that. The important thing is we can have the stable energy output if we can clean the surface of the solar panel, and we can make sure that every connection, every component can function properly. Okay, and this is the conclusion of my presentation. The first one, the solar shelters are the vital infrastructure in Giliang, especially in supporting ecotourism that rely on the renewable energy. And the second one, the regular maintenance is essential for ensuring long-term energy reliability, minimizing system failures, and also strengthening resilience against the climate-related disruption. Okay, that's all of my presentation about the solar shelter technology and its maintenance. I hope that the information that has been conveyed can provide insight and benefit for all of us. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. Bye bye.